Okay, so the remaining bit of this video is just going to be a quick little kind of a dance through some more of the art of data mining and correlations and caution as well. So here's a fact. I say it's a fact because it's backed up by data. Ice cream sales are strongly correlated with crime rates. So if you were to graph ice cream sales on the horizontal of a graph and crime rate on the vertical, as ice cream sales go up, crime rates go up. Now, I'm going to make a statement that this means that higher ice cream sales cause crime. Okay, so because clearly as one's going up, the other is going up. The problem with that is there are other variables that might be causing both ice cream sales to go up and crime rates to go up. So I said, just by the fact that ice cream sales generally are happening during warmer months, people are outside more, people might be leaving their doors open to their houses more. There's all kinds of reasons as to why both ice cream sales and crime rates would go up, not just because one is causing the other. And there's a very important phrase, correlation does not imply causation. Just because two things happen in a predictable pattern does not mean one is causing the other. Here's one of my favorites from recent history. It's not that recent anymore. Crap, it's 16 years ago now, but it's still timely, I think. Rod Blagojevich, who was infamously in the news not that long after this article was written, was celebrated in Illinois for his program. What did he call it? He called it, I forget what the name of this was, Books for Kids or something like that. Books for Tots. And he said he's going to give any kid born in Illinois a free book every month until they turn 5. So in other words, these kids are going to get 60 books for free from birth till age 5. And he said, when you own books and they're yours and they just come as part of your life, all of that will contribute to a sense that books should be part of your life. Blagojevich said it would be a worthy expense if it can aid literacy in a state where 2 and 5 third graders read below grade level. So what he read was, he read a study that showed a correlation, a strong positive correlation between the number of books in households and academic achievement of those within the household. So poor Rod decided that, oh, that means if I give people more books, their academic achievement will go up. And the problem is he was confusing correlation and causation. Just because you give somebody a bunch of books doesn't do a thing. I think what he actually nailed it down here. When you own books and they're yours, and this is it, and they just come as part of your life. It's not just about getting the book. It's about reading the book. It's about a family. What else might be true about a family that has lots of high academic achieving children in it, and also a lot of books? Chances are there's probably an association too about parental involvement with the children, which, I mean, granted, the books are a side effect maybe of that, but they're not the main effect. So in other words, poor Rod here, his heart's in the right, or was in the right place, at least for this, but he kind of mixed up correlation and causation there. Okay, easy to do, easy mistake to make. There are a few folks, and I'm going to show you a few of these. You can Google spurious correlations. This is one of my favorite websites. And they've decided to take this to the ridiculous and show things like the rise in autism in the United States is almost perfectly matched to organic food sales in the United States. These two data sets are rising at exactly the same rate. Not to be outdone, they've also looked at the correlation between Facebook's growth from 2005 to 2011 and the inflation of the Greek Treasury bill. And I said clearly Facebook caused the Greek debt crisis, because it's pretty clear that the Greek T-bond is growing at the exact same rate as Facebook, which of course makes absolutely no sense. It's coincidental. And again, not to be outdone, Justin Bieber, born in 1993 or whatever that is, if you look at serum cholesterol levels on average from 86 up through 2010, serum cholesterol average levels correlate exactly in men and women with Justin Bieber's birth, and they continued to fall after he was born. And then Facebook came along, and all of a sudden they started creeping back up again. I hope you're seeing the joke in this. These are completely ridiculously spurious correlations. But that's the problem. They're spurious, but so's this in less of a joking matter. Historically, and you can check the data on this, parents of daughters are more likely to divorce than parents of sons. If you look at statistics, the average number of daughters per divorced family is higher than the average number of sons. If you have daughters, should you worry about divorce? I want you to think about that for a couple minutes before we click through. And this is one of those things. This is one of those things where it's a correlation, but not a causation. The way I've expressed this sentence to you, if you have daughters, should you worry about divorce? And what that implies is somehow that the daughters are causing divorce. You have daughters and then you get divorced. But an interesting biological note, in many species, stressed populations produce disproportionate numbers of female offspring. I honestly don't know why this is the case, but I know this is true based on my biological friends. So maybe it's not that the daughters caused the divorce. It's that there's already something stressing the marriage. And as a result of the stress, the daughters are conceived more than sons. It's a possible conclusion. Notice the word possible. Because, as I mentioned before, data mining is more of an art form than a science. You're looking not just for correlation, but also interplay, and maybe explanations as to why correlations are there. So, my friends, I hope you found this kind of enlightening. Definitely is kind of a twitchy feeling kind of math, because it's not like you're solving an equation. You're looking kind of for patterns that may or may not be there. That's what data mining is. That's why you have supercomputers that crunch hundreds of thousands of data sets to look for relationships. But it is definitely a very satisfying thing when you can find something kind of in the undercurrent of a large data set that otherwise just looks like a bunch of numbers. Okay, we'll see you soon.